From green gold to guacamole, the $3 billion journey you never knew. Here is a question that might blow your mind. What if I told you that the creamy guacamole sitting in your fridge right now traveled over 2,000 miles, passed through the hands of dozens of workers, survived a pressure treatment equivalent to being 400 feet underwater, and was once hanging on a tree in the volcanic mountains of Mexico? And here is the craziest part. All of that happened in less than 2 weeks. Every single year, Americans devour over 7 billion avocados. That is not a typo. 7 billion. We spread them on toast, we dip our
This
chips
is
in
the
them,
best
we
avocado
add them
toast
to
I've
literally
ever had.
everything. Avocados have become more than just
Cheers
food.
to healthy eating.
They have transformed into a full-blown lifestyle symbol, especially for those chasing that healthy, clean eating vibe. But here is what most people never stop to think about. How on earth do we harvest, process, and deliver millions of kilos of this incredibly delicate fruit to meet such an insane demand? How does something so fragile, so sensitive to time and temperature end up perfectly creamy in a sealed pouch at your local grocery store? Today, we are going straight to the source. We are pulling back the curtain on one of the most fascinating food production journeys on the planet. From volcanic soil to your kitchen table, this is the untold story of green gold. Our journey begins in Michoacán, Mexico, the undisputed capital of the global avocado empire. This is not just farmland. This is where avocado dreams come true. With its perfect climate-rich volcanic soil and generations of farming expertise, Michoacán produces nearly half of all avocados exported worldwide. We are talking about an industry worth almost $3 billion a year, just from this one region. And guess who is the biggest customer? The United States. Last year alone, America imported a record-breaking 1 million tons of avocados from Mexico. That is enough guacamole to fill over 40,000 swimming pools. But here is what makes this fruit so special. Unlike most foods, avocados are not just riding a temporary trend. They have earned their global status thanks to their powerhouse nutrition. While many people still side-eye fat in their diets, avocados are loaded with heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, the good kind. So even though they are rich and creamy, they are still seen as a smart modern choice for anyone trying to eat clean and live well. The star of the show is the Hass variety, and that choice is no accident. Compared to traditional types like Fuerte Hass, avocados pack more nutritional punch with higher levels of those heart-healthy fats. They are perfectly aligned with today's global push for wellness. But here is the catch that most people do not know. Hass avocados cannot be grown from seed. Every single Hass tree in the world comes from grafting, a technique where a Hass bud is carefully fused onto a strong rootstock. It is labor-intensive, it takes patience, but it is totally worth it. Within about 3 years, young trees begin producing fruit, and by year 6, they hit peak productivity. Now you might think growing avocados is simple. Plant a tree, water it, wait for fruit. Right. Wrong.
Took you long enough.
Dead wrong.
Honestly, I am
These trees are
parched.
absolute divas. They are picky,
I just
needy,
watered you
and
an
resource
hour
hungry.
ago.
They demand constant attention from water and
Hass
fertilizer
avocados
to
is
precise
high
pruning,
maintenance.
pest
We
control,
follow an
and even
extensive
shade
checklist.
protection to prevent
Precise
sunburned
irrigation.
fruit. Yes, avocados can get sunburned. Who knew? But the biggest challenge is water. To harvest just 100,000 pounds of avocados per acre, a farm might use nearly 1 million gallons of water. That is about 100 gallons for every single pound of fruit. In a world increasingly worried about water scarcity, that is a serious concern. So how do farmers in Michoacán handle this? They have gotten incredibly creative. Many farms have built massive reservoirs to capture rainwater during the wet season, a clever strategy they call stretching the rains. This helps keep trees hydrated through the dry months without draining local water resources. Drip irrigation systems deliver water directly to the roots, dramatically reducing waste while keeping trees happy and healthy. But here is where it gets really futuristic. Some farms are going full sci-fi using high-tech sensors strapped directly to tree trunks. These gadgets track sap flow, basically measuring how much water each tree is pulling up from its roots. They provide real-time insights into water absorption and evaporation. With this kind of data, farmers can fine-tune every single drop of irrigation, making sure nothing goes to waste. Every step in the growing process is calculated. Clearing brush, plowing, compacted soil, measuring exact planting distances, testing soil quality, installing and calibrating irrigation systems. The planting holes have to be just the right size. Mounds of soil are built around each base to stop water from pooling. Support stakes are driven into the ground so young trees will not get knocked over by wind. This is not just farming, this is precision agriculture at its finest. A fully mature avocado tree can produce an impressive 750 pounds of fruit per year. But getting that kind of yield requires a skilled crew of about 12 workers per orchard. Harvest season in Michoacán runs from late fall through spring, with peak months hitting in December and January, right when U.S. demand absolutely skyrockets for the holidays. And of course, the legendary Super Bowl guac frenzy. But here is what surprised me the most. Despite all the technology involved in growing and processing avocados, the harvest itself is still done entirely by hand. Workers move through the orchards with specialized clippers, carefully snipping each fruit at the stem. They wear special aprons with big front pouches. Think kangaroo vibes, but filled with avocados instead of joeys. Most of the fruit grows high up in the canopy, and a single drop could bruise it badly. So pickers use long poles with small nets attached to gently pull the fruit down without damage. For the really tall trees, some farms even use lift platforms to boost harvest efficiency. A single worker can harvest over 800 pounds of avocados per day. That is back-breaking work under the Mexican sun, repeated day after day throughout the season. Once a pouch is full, it is rushed to the collection zone where avocados are quickly sorted into plastic crates. And here is where the real race begins. The moment an avocado is picked, the clock starts ticking. These fruits begin to ripen immediately, and they typically have just 7 days to reach supermarket shelves. 7 days, that is it. Within just 1 to 2 hours after harvest, the avocados need to be loaded onto special transport trucks racing down the mountain roads toward the processing facilities. Time is everything. Every minute counts. The trucks arrive at Uruapan, home to one of the largest avocado packing centers in the region. This facility is a marvel of modern food processing. On a single day, they can handle up to 750,000 avocados. That is not a typo. 750,000 fruits processed in just 24 hours. The first stop is quality control. And trust me, these inspectors do not mess around. As soon as a shipment arrives, it is sent to a dedicated inspection team. Inside the QC room, experts examine each batch for ripeness, color, and surface condition. They use penetrometers, specialized pressure sensors that measure exactly how firm each avocado is. Too hard means not ready. Too soft means already past its prime. Only the perfectly ripe fruits move forward. Next comes the cleaning journey. The avocados are dumped onto a massive conveyor belt and plunged into giant water tanks for a pre-wash. This initial rinse removes most of the dirt, rocks, and leaves that hitched a ride during harvest. Then comes the deep clean. High-pressure water jets blast away any remaining debris, scrubbing every inch of the avocado surface, even those tricky spots around the stem. After the rinse, the fruit passes through 40 specialized rollers to shake off excess water. Then comes a thorough brushing, not just to clean them, but to buff the fruit, natural wax coating, giving each avocado that signature glossy shine we all recognize at the supermarket. But here is where things get absolutely mind-blowing. These polished green gems speed down the production line at a jaw-dropping pace, 25 avocados per second. That is way too fast for human eyes to inspect. So how do they catch defects? With cutting-edge technology, of course. The system uses 3 high-speed cameras to snap images of every single avocado as it zips by. The fruit fans out onto individual tracks with rotating rollers, giving cameras a full 360-degree view. Each avocado is scanned and analyzed for size, shape, color, weight, and surface quality. Soft spots are detected using sound waves. Ripeness is checked using near-infrared light to see how the skin reflects it. The cameras catch everything from tiny scratches to the slightest shape defects. The avocados that meet export standards are automatically weighed and sorted by size with pinpoint accuracy. But before packing, there is one final human checkpoint. Seasoned workers handpick any fruit that slipped through the digital inspection. And here is the beautiful part. Those rejected avocados may be a little misshapen or with a small scuff on the skin do not go to waste. They become the perfect candidates for premium guacamole. The so-called ugly avocados still get their moment to shine, just in a different and way tastier form. So why even bother making guacamole in a factory? Here is the honest truth. Nobody wants to wait a whole week just to enjoy a slice of avocado toast. If you buy an unripe avocado and ship it from Michoacán to California, it can take 7 to 10 days to ripen naturally. But let us be real, most people today do not have that kind of patience. They want their guac ready the second they pop the lid. And that is exactly why the avocado sauce industry was born, to deliver instant, creamy, delicious guacamole, whenever, wherever, no ripening required. Let us step inside the guacamole production line. Only perfectly ripe fruit with just the right softness and premium quality makes the cut. Ripeness is absolutely key to that signature smooth texture and rich, buttery flavor. After arriving from the farms, the avocados rest in special ripening rooms set at a steady 68 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 days. This allows them to ripen evenly right on schedule. When they are ready, so are the blades. On 3 parallel production lines, avocados are sliced cleanly in half in the blink of an eye. Skilled workers jump in to scoop out the flesh and remove the pits. With practiced hands, they recover up to 90% of the fruit, making sure nothing goes to waste. Each worker can process up to 2,000 pounds of avocado per day. Yeah, you heard that right. 2,000 pounds. At this factory, they can pump out up to 40 tons of guacamole every single day. But with that kind of volume comes a whole lot of waste, especially from all those leftover pits and peels. So what do they do with them? Instead of tossing them out, the factory came up with a genius solution. They are turning avocado pits into raw material for bioplastics. Using innovative technology, something as ordinary as an avocado pit gets a second life as eco-friendly products like straws, spoons, and forks. It is a smart, sustainable system that makes guacamole not just delicious, but green in every sense of the word. Who would have thought your snack could actually help fight plastic waste one pit at a time? Once the avocado flesh is scooped out, it is gathered and sent straight into massive industrial mixing tanks. Fresh ingredients are added to create that signature kick. Finely chopped onions, tomatoes, and cilantro, all carefully washed, diced, and combined in just the right ratio. During mixing, lime juice, salt, and a special blend of spices are added with precision, because when it comes to guacamole, balance is everything. The factory has spent over a decade perfecting this recipe. The whole mix is stirred to perfection, making sure every single bite delivers that fresh, zesty, well-rounded flavor. Once the guacamole passes the taste test and quality check, it is pumped into packaging at an incredible speed, up to 100,000 pouches per hour. These pouches are vacuum sealed to remove every bit of air and stop oxidation in its tracks. Then comes the final seal, airtight, tamper-proof, and built to keep out any unwanted microbes. But the real game changer is high-pressure processing. The sealed pouches go through an intense treatment that simulates the pressure of being 400 feet underwater. That massive force wipes out spoilage, causing microorganisms without needing any preservatives. No chemicals, no shortcuts, just science and smart engineering. The result is guacamole that stays fresh and flavorful for up to 75 days. Because both fresh avocados and guacamole are incredibly sensitive to time, temperature, and air exposure, proper storage is absolutely critical. The factories are equipped with specialized storage facilities featuring modern air circulation systems that keep the environment clean well ventilated, and tightly temperature controlled. Everything is kept on the cooler side to slow down spoilage and preserve that rich natural flavor. By the time the guacamole hits store shelves, it is still as smooth, fresh, and delicious as the day it was made. And that, my friends, is the incredible journey
This
of the
guacamole
avocado.
is
From
absolutely
volcanic
perfect.
mountains in
It
Mexico
really is,
to your
isn't it?
kitchen table, from hand-picked fruit to factory-sealed freshness, from a simple green fruit to a $3 billion global phenomenon. Whether you love the pure creamy taste of fresh avocado, prefer crafting your own guac masterpiece at home, or just want to tear open a ready-made pouch and spread it on some bread, there is no wrong way to enjoy this green gem. So next time you dip that chip into a bowl of guacamole, take a moment to appreciate the thousands of hands, the cutting-edge technology, and the incredible journey that brought it to you. Let us know in the comments, what kind of avocado fan are you? Team fresh, team homemade, or team ready to eat? Thanks for joining us on this behind-the-scenes adventure. Stay curious and stay hungry. We will catch you in the next one.